If I can't climb it, you can't either. I'm pushing it over.
Oh, man, now that'd be scary.
That would be scary. I wouldn't want to be at the top of that tree.
No, I don't. Hey, folks, welcome to the Moose Whisperer. I got a special guest with me here today. You've heard from him before. He told us an exciting bear encounter story just a little while ago. So Rob's back to tell us a couple more bear stories before he might even get into an elk or moose hunting story yet as well. But for now, folks, welcome back, Rob. And let's hear some more stories about those crazy black bears you enjoy and love so much.
Yeah, they are great. They are great. I do love them for sure. One of the stories that I remember growing up and stuff like that, I was new into bow hunting. So I bought this, used to be this archery place in Fredericton, where I grew up. And I bought this fluorescent orange camouflage snowmobile suit. So I went out bow hunting, had this thing on, and I went out to this hardwood ridge, and I'm standing there, leaning up against the tree, and I'm looking down over this ridge, and I could see probably about 150 yards all the way down through this ridge.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking along, and I look over to my right, and I see these two cubs coming up the hill, and they're tumbling, and just what you would see on TV type of thing, how they tumble and they play fight and stuff like this, right?
How cute.
It was cute, yeah.
Sorry, but what distance?
About 150 yards, I could see them down there, right? You could see them just tumbling, and they just started walking up through this ridge. And Mama was just walking behind them, you know. And by and by, the cubs rolled off to the side. Mom, she came off up a little farther. And I'm looking at her, and I say, okay, well, they're walking towards me, but yeah, they're a long ways off. They'll veer off, and I'll get a good look.
Yeah, and go
Whatever,
around.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm standing there, and I'm watching, and I'm watching, and watching. These are still walking right towards me. And I was like, okay, this is getting a little dicey here. I think this is probably one of the first encounters that I've had with black bears.
Okay.
So I didn't know really what to expect as much as what I do now. So I'm looking at her, and she's walking up, and the cubs are still playing and stuff like that. And I didn't think too much about it, but as she was getting into the 50-yard range, or 50-foot range, I should say.
50-foot range.
50-foot range.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
it's getting close.
she's beelining, like literally diagonally up this ridge, and I'm in her path. And I'm thinking, no, she's still going to veer off. Nope, she didn't. She started walking. I was like, hey, bear. Hey. Not moving too much, but making myself vocal.
You're like, what? Don't you see me? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly, right? But she didn't see me. She stopped. She would look. The cubs never even batted an eye at nothing. They just kept playing. Like kids do, right?
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Exactly.
Not a worry in the world.
Nope. Or care.
Yeah.
And so she was like, okay, what was that? Then she didn't see nothing, so she kept walking. She's like 30 feet from me. And I'm like, okay, my heart's starting to race a little bit. And I'm like, there, hey, get. I start waving an arm, right?
Yeah.
And then she's like, stops up again. She's looking around like this, and still never saw me. And I said, okay, well, what's this now? So she kept walking. She got about 8 to 10 feet from me. And I was like, okay, this is enough. And I went, hey, with my hands like this.
Yeah.
Like, hey, bear, hey, like that. And I made half a step towards her like that. And she went like that. I remember her head going back and forth to find me. And then she focused on me.
Yeah.
She went like that, looked at me, and right up on her haunches, looked me square in the eyes, and then went right towards me, like
really gave me a big good false.
Oh yeah, just like that. And when she did that, I've seen those two cubs, man, just boom, they were gone. And she turned,
just like that, huh?
Oh yeah,
natural instinct.
Just
hear that woof?
Yep. And she bolted, and they bolted. It was like snap, snap, snap. It was dead silent.
So she gave you that woof, and then she took off.
And she took off. I was just like, whoa, that was scary. But it was like she didn't hurt me or nothing, right?
No, she gave you that do not come a bit forward, and then went to protect her cubs.
Yeah,
So
and she
it's
just
a good
bolted
bear.
90. No, it's a good bear. Very good bear. As they all are.
Yeah.
Unless there is something wrong with them. Somebody's been feeding them or whatever, right?
Yeah. Injured, starving to death, teeth missing, different things can make bears act weird. But a healthy bear is going to be a good bear.
No, for sure. Definitely.
Good.
But she definitely startled me on that one.
Oh,
But I couldn't believe she couldn't even see me.
That's saying something. You were wearing that orange camouflage.
But I don't know what they said.
Guarantee it works for bears, eh?
She never saw me.
Well, you know what I would have loved to have heard? At the moment, I think it would have been a little too scary, but I'm almost jealous that you've heard that woof from the bear at that closer range. I've heard it before, but the bear was giving me a warning from quite a long ways away, about maybe 40 yards away. The bear was totally aware that I was there and started doing that woof, woof charging and that
that bluff charge,
But to hear that from 5 feet away.
Wow, this was like you can almost feel the breath off.
It's like, man, that bear had bad breath.
Yeah, whoa. Yeah,
somebody brushed that thing's teeth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that was that was pretty incredible.
That was a great story.
Yeah, but this is probably the nicest one I had the most fun with, other than the other story that I told you previous.
Yeah, with the many encounters.
Yeah,
okay.
This one here, I had my son-in-law. He didn't know anything about me and bears. So I took him out for a little hunt one day.
Yeah.
So we're driving along this gravel road, and it was soupy, muddy, rainy fall day, right? So we're driving along, and I was looking around all these little cut lines and cut roads and stuff like that. And we're driving along, and I just happened to look in this one here, and I seen this bear in there. Small boar, right? But probably 2 years old, 2.5 years old.
Okay.
And he was getting all the green grass that he could get, just big mouthfuls. They just eating as much as he could. It was sort of comical to watch him, right?
Was it spring?
No, it was fall.
It was fall, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was just trying to fatten up everything he could.
He
Right?
could eat anything he could get his mouth.
Yeah. So anyway, so when I saw him, I drove up the road and I turned the vehicle around. I said, "Okay, we're gonna have some fun here." And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "There was a bear back there." And he goes, "What?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "There was a bear back there." He goes, "Well, what are we gonna do?" I said, "I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go see if I can catch it." He thought it was crazy. Catch it? He goes, "Catch it?" I was like, "Well, I'm gonna see how close I can get to it." He goes, "Okay, whatever. You're weird." He said. So we drive back and park the vehicle. There it is. I get out. Start sneaking up to it. The bear's still just mouthing, eating and eating.
Yeah.
And I walk up. As soon as I start getting close, he'd stop. He'd look around like that, and I never moved. Then he would start again.
So he didn't smell you.
He didn't smell me. And I just kept walking closer. He was eating, I was walking because he was quartering away a little bit.
But when he stopped, if
When
he
he
kept
stopped,
moving, he'd hear you.
Yeah.
So
or
you would
it would catch him out of his eye, right? Or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
So when he stopped, I stopped.
Good one.
I got about 8 feet from him. And I'm looking at him and I was like, okay, maybe I can get a little bit closer. Then he stopped and all of a sudden he turned and he looked right at me. And then he had a mouthful of grass. And all of a sudden he looked like this and he bolted. He took off because the taller grass. He bolted and he ran in this tall grass around the corner and out of sight.
Huh.
So
Okay.
my son-in-law,
Another good bear.
Another good bear. Yeah. So my son-in-law, he gets out and he goes, "That was crazy. That was crazy. I never thought you could get that close to him." I said, "Yeah." I said, "He'll be back." He goes, "What?" I said, "You watch this." So my son-in-law's standing out at the end of the road. And I get down on my hands and knees. This tall grass that he went into in that trail.
Mm-hmm.
I get down on my hands and knees and I was about that far, about 1.5 feet from the edge of that grass, and I'm waiting. By and by, I could hear him coming back, right? He come around the last little corner and I was right there. And he come around and I went, "Arr!" like that into his face as he stuck his face out too. He almost flipped himself over backwards to get away from me and then took off out of there. And then away he went. But yeah, it was pretty funny. My son-in-law said, "You are absolutely crazy."
That is crazy. That is.
Yeah.
Because of the distance.
Yeah,
Makes
it was
me
like
nervous.
1.5 feet,
If
right?
you were a little further away, I would feel a little more secure.
Yeah, but no,
I've scared bears to chase them up trees before, you know,
Oh, yeah.
but again, at a distance, you know,
Yep.
if you rush them, then especially a young bear,
stars and the
you know, they'll-
first thing they
yeah,
instinct is
they still have the instinct to go up the tree. They just
they think it's a bigger bear
from
coming
their
for
mom.
them.
Yeah, they, you know, like 2-year-olds, you know,
Yeah.
they're only a few months away from their mom, so they still have that instinct to really go up the tree. So
And they can go fast,
they climb amazingly, don't they?
isn't it? It is incredible.
There'll
how
be no
fast
branches, no nothing.
But flying. That's all you see.
Bears up
Yeah.
the tree. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
People think they climb a tree to get away from black bears. No way.
But I have heard that if you're going to climb a tree,
Yeah.
as far as a grizzly bear or something like that, you climb a big one.
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard that too. Well, grizzlies being so much heavier have a harder time. They
Yeah.
can't climb
But
as
then
well.
they can't push it over either.
That's right. 'Cause that's their motto. Yeah.
That's right.
They're just shove.
If I can't climb it, you can't either. I'm pushing it over.
Oh, man. Now that'd be scary.
That would be scary. I wouldn't want to be at the top of that tree.
No. I don't.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Rob, thanks so much. I really appreciate you coming and dropping by and
problem.
being a fan and a supporter of the channel, and then
Definitely.
coming in to tell your own stories as well. That's what we want to hear, folks. Want to hear that from you. You can send in your stories to info@themoosewhisperer.com. Send them in to me. I can tell the stories, or heck, if you're anywhere within the vicinity or don't mind making a trip, you can do like Rob and come on in here and tell the stories in an interview session like this. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. I can tell you one thing for sure, more stories to come.